Hi. Okay. As you all probably know, our one true leader, Jason Crispine, is incredibly busy with Charlie. And I think it was time for me to spread my wings and fly solo. So here I am. Send help. Pray for me. Be patient with me today. I'm still kind of learning the ropes of this whole thing. And you're probably going to hear some staple guns and some drills in the background. Mine and Raquel's office is up in the light booth, and they are working hard on the Charlie set today. So you're going to hear some noise in the background, probably. But thank you guys so much for being here. If you don't already know, I am your new host of Thursdays at 3. I'm Annika Spalding. I'm the new Community Relations Director here at ALT. And I'm so happy to be here, even though I'm really nervous today. Okay. So I want to talk about all the crazy things going on at ALT, because as always, there's a ton of stuff going on. I know it's a crazy time of year. I know school is starting. I know activities after school are starting. Everyone's kind of crazed, getting the semester going and all of that. And so I'm hoping that everybody gets a chance to breathe and rest. Maybe not. Especially those of you who are in End of the Rainbow and those of you who are deep in rehearsals for Charlie. I know it's getting to be that crazy time. So we're thinking of you. And I wanted to talk a little bit about volunteers, because we love our volunteers here at ALT, and you guys are the most dedicated, most wonderful volunteers that we have. And I found this quote that I wanted to share with you guys that just really moved me. It was an anonymous quote, but it says, "Volunteering is the ultimate exercise in democracy. You vote in elections once or twice a year, but when you volunteer, you vote every day about the kind of community you want to live in." And I just think that that is so fitting for the volunteers here at ALT, because I think this community is really special and you guys are so hardworking. And it shows with the productions that we do around here and the wonderful actors and helpers backstage and all of that that we have. So I just want to personally applaud everyone here, and you inspire me every single day. So there's that. I also wanted to share a little bit about a podcast I listened to recently. I found out Jason listened to the same one. It's the Smart List podcast. It's Jason Bateman and Sean Hayes and Will Arnett. And just this past week, I listened to an episode where they interviewed Greta Gerwig. And for those of you who don't know, Greta Gerwig directed the Barbie movie, and she directed Little Women, and she's an amazing writer. She wrote and directed Lady Bird. She's absolutely amazing. And in this podcast, she mentioned community theater about 5 times. And I stopped and rewound it. Rewound, is that the right word that you would use? I went back to listen to it again. These parts that she was saying about community theater, because she was so respectful about it. Oh, I already have a comment. Let's go to the comments. Oh, Jared Duncan. Hi, Jared Duncan. Anyway, Greta Gerwig was talking about community theater, and she was so respectful about it and lovely about it. And she was basically saying that people who do community theater have secret identities. It's like having a secret identity, that you could be a teacher by day and reciting Tennessee Williams by night. And I loved that. I loved the idea of all of us kind of in our regular day-to-day lives, just kind of going about our day. And then in the evening or at a matinee, you become this other person, or you do something completely different, like helping backstage or playing in an orchestra pit or whatever. And I thought that was so cool. And, I know some people, like even Sean Hayes on this podcast, was a little condescending about community theater. That might be a little harsh. He was a little, he was like, isn't it a little like high school? And I disagree. I mean, maybe sometimes we can all be a little immature sometimes, but not that high schoolers are immature at all. But I just loved what she was saying about, she was just so respectful about community theater. And this is where it all begins. You don't start out a famous performer. It has to start somewhere, and in your own community is the best place to start. And this is such a fantastic community theater. And so anyway, I hope that inspires some people, because it definitely inspired me. Oh, Sarah, thank you very much. much. Thank you, sweet girl. I really appreciate it. It was good to see you today at Palace. Anyway, I want to move on because we have so much to talk about today, and I don't want to keep you guys here for 2 hours. But we got a new digital marquee. You guys have probably seen a little bit. We've posted some things this week, but I wanted to show you a great little reel that our wonderful marketing director, Raquel, took. I'm going to show that to you real quick. There's no audio with it, so I'll just kind of talk over it. But there's our old marquee, and there's our new one being installed. It's so exciting. Moving into the future, 2023, and we can put whatever we want up there. It's going to be, well, fairly easy, I think. They're having to get trained on it, so maybe it's not going to be that easy. Jason would probably argue with me on that. But look, the sign does not video well. I will say that. So we didn't really show. I went out there to try to take a video of it, and it wasn't the same. It didn't look the same as it did in person. Something about the frame, or I don't know. But isn't that so cool? We're so excited about that sign. Again, I want to talk to you a little bit like I did last week, but now it's actually happened. Our Academy season reveal. That happened on Monday. And it was such a huge success. Look at all of our instructors there with their cute shirts on. So exciting. And so I'm just going to reiterate, it's out there. I feel like everybody knows, but I'm just going to reiterate our new Academy season is going to begin with Prancer, based on the 1989 film about a little girl who finds a reindeer in the forest and is convinced that it is one of Santa's reindeer. And then the musical is going to be The Little Mermaid. And I have a video of that reveal because it is so epic to see these kids' reactions. I'm going to show you that real quick. Here we go.
Also here on the main stage, March 22nd through the 30th. It ends on Saturday night, the day before Easter, just if you were curious. Sponsored by AAA Electric. Our next show is...
Isn't that so fantastic? I love seeing how excited all the kids were. That was my first Academy season reveal to attend. And it was electric in that room. The energy was unbelievable. It really felt like a real sports pep rally. So it was just so exciting. And we have a comment from Jason Crispine. Thank you, AAA Electric and AAA Signs for helping with the install. Woohoo! Yay! So exciting. Okay, next on the list, The Lightning Thief is going to be our summer musical, technically the first show of our 97th season. And I have a video of that reveal as well.
The first show of ALT's 97th season and the Academy's 32nd. We announce it now. It's technically the first show of next season. But this is going to be in the adventure space, July 12th through the 21st, 2 weekends. This is a new musical that I'm super excited about. And it is...
Did you see Sean Pritchard? Oh my gosh, the excitement in that room. I cannot wait to see that show. Lightning Thief is a huge show. And if anyone can pull it off, it's our amazing Academy. So congratulations, y'all. It's going to be such a fantastic season. And I can't wait to see all the shows. Also, at the Academy season reveal, our one true new Academy instructor, Harrison Stringer, revealed that our Showstoppers choir is going to be going to New York in February, and they are starting a fundraiser because it's crazy expensive to go. But they're going to get to perform at Lincoln Center with current Broadway stars. Can you even? I would have died. I would have laid out and died if that would have been me at that age. I'm so kind of jealous of you guys. But there's a fundraiser going on for that. They're starting out wanting to raise $16,000. So you can find that fundraiser. A ton of people are sharing it. I've shared it. Jason shared it. Harrison shared it. It's on the ALT Academy page. So if you can, please go to that. Even if it's $5, let's help these kids get to New York. They deserve it, and they're so talented, and we want them to represent ALT in New York City. So we're very excited about that. Also, Academy registration is open. It is here. The classes are up. If you go to our website, you can click here, click through fall 2023 class schedule. You're going to go to classes, and then you can click the classes that are right for you. Again, we have classes for little itty bitties all the way through adults. And we really need to fill specifically our Creative Dramatics 1. That's for 4-year-olds through kindergarten. And I believe that one is on Mondays at from 4:30 to 5:30. There might be another one of that. So don't quote me on that. Look on the website. You can find all of that if you go to our website, 355-9991, AmarilloLittleTheater.org. You can get all of that information there. You can call our box office, talk to one of us, whatever you need to do. We will get you the information that you need. But let's fill that Creative Dramatics class, those little itty bitties, and get them loving theater early on. Livy was in that class. My daughter Liv was in that class last year and absolutely loved it. It's such a great way to get kids out of their comfort zone. They play games, they learn confidence, they build confidence, they learn how to work as a team. It's just a really, really great way for them to make new little friends and kind of get outside their comfort zone. So I really highly recommend that class. And if you know anyone who has a little itty bitty, send them over that way because they're going to be in really, really good hands. Also, our Theater 4 class, that is for high schoolers. That one needs some people in it too. So let's spread the word about that. If you know a high schooler that's looking for, I know high schoolers are so busy, but a high schooler who needs an extracurricular activity or is looking for a place to make friends or to build some new skills, Theater 4 is a great way to do that. I also want to talk about season ticket packages. So right now, because our prices went up this year, becoming a donating member is really the way to go, especially, we talked about this last week, but I really want to talk about the Angel package. That's the cheapest of those packages, and it is such a good deal. For $350, you get a $50 tax write-off. You can exchange the tickets by noon, the day of the show. There are no fees, they're transferable, and it basically amounts to $15 seats for the $30 musical tickets. So you're getting 50% off. If you know that you're going to see the majority of the shows at ALT this season, our wonderful 96 season, get the Angel package because you're saving a ton of money. If you just buy tickets show by show by show, you're spending more money than you would if you got an Angel ticket package. So we highly recommend that, especially since our ticket prices went up this season. If you can do that, we definitely recommend doing that. Also, we are moving into our final weekend of our critically acclaimed show, End of the Rainbow. Y'all, Brett and I saw this show on Saturday night, and I waited until the next day to post about it because I needed some time to kind of process what I saw. I didn't know a ton about Judy Garland going in, and also excuse my fan. I don't want y'all to think that I had like a rider with like I have to have a Beyonce fan to do Thursdays at 3. It's we're officing in the light booth and it's hella hot up here. So I have this fan going so I don't die of heat stroke. That's what that is. Anyway, but Brett and I saw the show on Saturday night, and it was so fantastic. The direction, the acting. I have to give a shout out to Noah and Brandon and Michael and anyone who has helped with this set. The set for End of the Rainbow, I've seen a lot of shows in the adventure space. Somehow this set made it look so much bigger in that space. It was just absolutely stunning. And the projections, they have these projections of actual Judy Garland footage that they interject. I'm not going to give a ton away, but that they interject throughout the scene, like in between the scenes of the show. And it's so effective, especially because Joe's acting is so spot on. You see them side by side, and it's really unnerving almost, because Joe does such a brilliant job of depicting who Judy Garland was, but also capturing her heart. Like, I don't think you feel pity for her necessarily. Your heart breaks because she's so talented, and she has this line towards the end about not living up to your potential, even though you know what you could be. It's just heartbreaking. And the entire cast, it's such a team effort. Oh, Carla Cunningham, I'm so looking forward to seeing it Friday night. You're gonna love it, Carla. You're going to love it. The reviews are pouring in. Lissa forwards all of us on staff the reviews that people send in, and it's so encouraging to read them every single day and see kind of what people are thinking about the show. And if you do see it, please send us a review, because we come to work and we read these reviews, and it reminds us why we're here, and it just sort of gives us a little extra boost throughout the day, while we're doing what we're doing to promote the shows and, make sure you guys get seen when you're working so hard. But I just have to say, it is a magnificent show. It's really, really beautiful. It's a 6-piece band, which is the same size. Jacob Miller was telling us last weekend that is the same size of the band that they used on Broadway. And you can tell it's a really full, lush, lovely sound. Raymond Gerard's costumes, I mean, we all know and love Raymond Gerard, but oh my gosh, they are just stunning. She's glittering up there. She's just this sparkling diva, and the costumes are absolutely stunning. And that time period is just so cool anyway. But make sure you get your tickets. I'm going to go ahead and put up some of the information up here for you to get your tickets. 355-9991. That's our box office, AmarilloLittleTheater.org. Buy your tickets. There are tickets available for tonight. Get your tickets. I can't say enough how fantastic this show is. Tia says, agreed, Annika, amazing show, right? It's just stunning. It's just stunning. Thank you for your comment, Tia. To that end, we are needing help for ushering and concessions. Lissa wanted me to say to you guys, she needs help for every single show this weekend. No one is signed up to help with ushering and concessions for tonight. So if you can help, if anyone could arrive around like 8:45 to do ushering and concessions, that would be great. I guess 8:45 would be concessions. But if you can help at all tonight, please email Lissa. Let me put her information up here. Volunteer by emailing Lissa at AmarilloLittleTheater.org, or call the box office and she'll get you set up for that. If you can, please help. Anything you can do so that the same people aren't being used again and again and again, as lovely as they are to offer to do that. Let's try to help them out with that. We are also going to need help for strike for End of the Rainbow. Lissa says we would love some A-team help on Sunday with End of the Rainbow strike beginning around 5:30. There's going to be lots of lights and wires to work around. So if you guys could help with that, that would be great. And I actually have a little highlights video that our wonderful Raquel put together that I want to show you guys. It's like 1.5 minutes long, so enjoy.
Just in time, I found you. Just in time, before you came, my time was running low. I was lost, the losing dice were tossed, my bridges all across, nowhere to go. Now you're here, and now I'm for love came just in time. You found me just in time and changed my lonely life that lovely day.
I mean, come on. Raquel says, that's Joe's voice, y'all. I know it's so easy to get it mixed up with Judy's. Oh my gosh, you're so right, Raquel. And Jason says, please help tonight if you can. If there's anybody out there who can help with ushering in concessions tonight, please call the box office or email Lissa so that we can get some help with that. I also want to let you guys know we have some new box office hours that have changed this season. Monday through Friday, as usual, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, our box office is now closed. We used to be open for a few hours on Saturday afternoon. Not anymore. It's going to be closed, so you can get your tickets online 24 hours a day. If you are going to need to call the box office or come in, that's going to be Monday through Friday, 10 to 5. And also, the box office is open for members to get tickets for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And guess what else? They're open to the public on Monday. So call the box office 806-355-9991 or get your tickets www.amarillo.littletheater.org. Y'all, this is going to be such a huge show. We're sitting here hour by hour watching them build this magnificent set. I cannot wait. Get your tickets because they are selling. They are selling really, really fast. Also, the biggest work call, if you are going to come to a work call, this is the one to come to. This Saturday, August 26th, 9:30 a.m. at the Alan Shankles main stage. Please come help. We need all hands on deck for this one. Even if you just have an hour or two to give, drop by. It's come and go. You're not trapped here like a prison. If you come at 9:30 and you're trapped until the end of the day, no, you can come and go as you please. And RSVP to Lissa if you can. I'll put her email address up here. Lissa, not Lisa, at AmarilloLittleTheater.org. RSVP so that we can make sure to count your head for lunch. Make sure and do that. So yay. What do I have next? Oh, okay, this is really exciting. So Amarillo National Bank has very generously agreed to sponsor Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We are so grateful to them. And so because they're sponsoring us, we wanted to do a golden ticket contest. So we are doing a win a golden ticket to see our production of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You can enter at any of the Amarillo National Bank locations. You'll see one of our signs here. And a sign-up sheet. We're going to ask for your name, your phone number, and your email. And you can win a pack of 4 tickets to any performance of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That is one of the signs and sign-up sheets at a location, I believe, on Grand. And then here is one, and that is the one at United Market Street. So you can enter at any of those locations. And we really hope that you do, or tell your friends about the contest because I want to win a golden ticket. It's so exciting. So make sure and do that. We're so excited. That drawing is going to happen next Wednesday, August 30th. We're going to draw at all of the locations. There will be 5 winners from each location that will win a 4-pack of tickets. I know that was kind of a mouthful, but I think that's so exciting. There's just so many fun things going on with that. This next thing that I want to talk about is something new that I'm starting, and I am so excited about it because we have so many incredible volunteers at ALT. I thought we should have a volunteer of the week. So from now on Thursdays at 3, we are going to have a volunteer of the week. Oh, let me take out Lissa's email here. Sorry. Get rid of that. We're going to have a volunteer of the week. And this week, our volunteer of the week is Gary Paul Moore. Congratulations, Gary Paul Moore. Noah was telling me all the amazing things you've been doing lately. He said that Gary is one of 3 builders who stayed the entire time during work call last weekend. He bought Sonic drinks for everyone. He offered to get lunch. It was already being catered, but he offered to buy lunch for everybody. He stayed at work call even later than Noah did. He worked all week and even came in on Sunday. And on Monday, offered to help tear down the Academy open house. Unbelievable. Such a dedicated volunteer. There's his picture with his lovely wife, Audrey. And of course, his son, Graham, is playing Charlie, and his beautiful daughter, Hannah, is playing Veruca. So congratulations, Gary. We are so honored to have you here. And that is our volunteer of the week. So we're going to be doing that every week on Thursdays at 3. I just think we should highlight some of our incredible volunteers. There are so many, it's kind of hard to even just pick one. But since we're doing it once a week, we're going to get to highlight a whole lot of you. So that's really exciting. Speaking of volunteers, we are having a volunteer happy hour on Monday, August 30th at 5:30 p.m. in the ALT Turk lobby. So come join us. Have some pizza and a drink. I think there's even going to be a specialty cocktail, and hear all about the volunteer opportunities we can plug you in with the ALT Warriors. Please come. Let us celebrate you a little bit, and let us let you know kind of what's going on, what opportunities are out there. Yeah, just come hang out with us, make some new friends. If you've never been to ALT before, please come. Come one, come all. It's going to be great. Okay. It's finally time to introduce my special guest today. He is playing Mickey Deans in our production of End of the Rainbow, and he is my very, very special friend. Welcome, Joshua Gibson-Roark.
Hi.
Hi. I was telling you before the broadcast, I'm so excited that it's you here with me today, because I'm just so nervous doing this by myself, and it makes me so much less nervous having a sweet friend here with me. So thank you for being here.
Got your back. Like always, I got your back.
You do, on stage and off. It's true. I'm going to show a picture of us that's a throwback. You're going to know this picture. This is from Urinetown 2008. When our love affair began. There it is. And there's another one right here. For those of you who don't know the show Urinetown, there are little Easter eggs of different musicals throughout it. And this is our little Les Mis spoof, our little Do You Hear the People Sing? So exciting. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah? Doing good.
Are you tired?
Well, yeah, I we're always tired.
We're always tired, and we've got kids. Yeah. So you've got kids, and you're doing a show, and it's kids an exhausting
and jobs
show.
In the show. Yeah. You just, I don't require a lot of sleep, so it's okay.
Well, that's good. I've heard kind of again and again and again that End of the Rainbow has been a labor of love. Can you talk about the process and just how is this different from any other show that you've done? Are there differences?
Well, there are similarities from any show. You always start the process so nervous. It doesn't matter what show it is, who you're with. It's just always so nerve-wracking starting the show.
Yeah.
And this one was no different, especially being such a small cast. We all knew that, we have to pull our weight in this one. And that was apparent from the first table read. So, and I missed a week of rehearsals because we had vacation scheduled. So I wasn't sure that I would even get cast in the show because of it. But I left, kind of recharged, and came back, and then we had another crazy 2 weeks, and then we opened the show. And so, it was felt like a very long rehearsal period.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but it felt like a long time just because it's such a challenging script.
That's what I was going to say. Like it's pretty weighty material.
It is. Yeah. It's not one of those ones that you want to hang on to when you leave. It's one you like to just leave at the door of the theater when you walk through.
Yeah.
It makes studying and preparing hard because, it's just, it's not a feel good, happy go lucky kind of show.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I want to show everybody some pictures of you in it. There's you with Joe, just stunning. And then here's another one. I just love these pictures. And I also did a little side-by-side of you guys with next to the real deal.
Oh,
Look at that, y'all. Look at that. That is crazy. The
Love it.
similarities. That is just crazy.
Yeah. I've got
I-
these like crazy long sideburns. My hair has never been this long. And
I was going to say, I don't know that I've ever seen your hair that long.
now it's time for a trim Monday.
You're going to cut it right after the show?
Oh, probably. I don't know. Yeah. You know, this has also been like dyed and pulled forward, and you know,
yeah,
it's supposed to be 33. So
you got
there's no grays in here right now, which is not natural.
Listen, let's talk a little bit about who Mickey Deans was. Who would you say he was?
I would say that he was an opportunist.
Yeah.
In all of my research of Mickey Deans, I tried really hard to find some positive accounts of him. And there are none. He was not a well-liked person at all.
Yeah.
So he was a jazz pianist, but he also was a like club manager and then eventually a club owner. He worked at the club Arthur, which was like an early discotheque in New York City at the time when he and Judy met. But aside from being a jazz pianist and a club owner, he was also admittedly a well-known drug dealer. So the first time he met Judy Garland, according to his own accounts, he was delivering drugs to her and was requested to dress as a doctor and to tell her that he was giving her her medicine. So, I mean, just really sketchy stuff. So he was not a well-liked person. So
I read somewhere that he struck a book deal about Judy Garland's life on the way home from her funeral.
Yes, that was in Judy's youngest daughter, Lorna. That was in her autobiography, where she claimed that in a limo, they left the funeral and drove to the publisher's office for him to pick up his check for like the first payment of the book money. So leaving the funeral to go get your check, I mean,
that's an opportunist.
You didn't have the best of intentions.
Yeah. Chris Tidwell says, keep it.
No. We'll see.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize that Judy was only 47 when she died.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, she looked a lot older than that.
Yes, she did. I think the years of she put in hard work. She performed all the dang time, but the excessive drug abuse and drinking and just not living healthfully definitely caught up to her.
Yeah. Do you think Mickey had any care for her at all?
I think he had to. I think that, when you think about people who have struggled with addiction or any show you've watched, there's always that codependent relationship.
Right.
So, was it a passionate love affair? Probably not. I think that he found, things that he was willing to deal with in order for the perks of the relationship. But they were definitely codependent on each other, especially at the end. Certainly, well, in the beginning, he was feeding her a day to get something. I said to someone last week who was asking me about it, like, "Oh, was he really this bad of a guy?" And I don't know that he was not a good guy, but he had to have been kind, charismatic, and charming at some point. I mean, there's no account that says Judy Garland was a fool, So at some point he convinced her that he was a good enough guy to marry. So they had to have had some genuine moments. And that's something that I really tried to do at the beginning when reading the script, because you could play him as a total A star hole very easily.
Yeah.
And I was like, there has to be moments in here where there can be a sweeter, funnier side. And it was a struggle, but Joe and I have found those moments where, they have sometimes when they're not screaming at each other.
Yeah. The reason that I even asked you that question about whether or not he had any care for her at all is because when I watched the show, I felt that struggle with you. I felt like I could see you struggling between caring for her and taking advantage of an opportunity that you had. And I really appreciated that because I feel like it's so much more difficult to appreciate a character when there really aren't any redeeming qualities about them. And it becomes kind of a one note, sort of a flat performance. And the way that you did it, it was so layered and it drew me in because I felt myself struggling with your struggle. Like, well, you know, she loves performing. Someone could probably convince themselves of that she was born a performer. She loves performing. But in order for her to do that, she had to be on something or some things to be able to do that.
Right.
And it was such a juxtaposition between that and then Jacob's character kind of genuinely wanting to care for her, but what that would mean for her career if that happened. So I really, really appreciated that. I thought Mickey's and Judy's tumultuous relationship was really at times pretty difficult to watch. Did you feel like it was difficult to sort of inhabit that on stage?
Once we started full runs, it was not difficult to inhabit. At least for me, my process as an actor is always, this because you've been through this process with me. In rehearsals, I think people sometimes are like, oh my gosh, how did this guy get this role? Like, but once it all plays, then you just fall into that mindset.
Yeah.
But yes, in the early stages of inhabiting the relationship, when you don't have the lines, it's not deep in you yet, then it was definitely a struggle. And I worried. I was like, ugh, I don't know if I can make this guy believable or not, just because it took me a while to get comfortable with the story and who he was. So
right.
It was tough. Yeah.
Yeah. You and I are both parents. We each have 2 kids, and Judy had 3 kids when she died, and they were, correct me if I'm wrong, 14, 16, and 22. When she died, because while I was watching it I knew she had kids at the time. I didn't know how many until this week when I kind of dug into it. But I was sitting there wondering, like, where are the kids? Are they okay? And then once I started kind of looking into it and realizing, they weren't little bitty, but they were still young, especially the 14 and 16-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I found myself thinking, like, what they must have seen.
Oh yeah.
Growing up.
Right. Well, and there's so much speculation, and both of the daughters have said that they don't want their mother viewed as a tragedy and all those kinds of things. But there's no doubt that they didn't have a very traumatic childhood.
Yeah.
And especially like if you look at the Judy movie that Renee Zellweger was in, all that was loosely based on this script. Then the children had gone.
Okay.
And
I found this on the web for a very traumatic childhood, and especially like if you look at the Judy movie.
Siri. No.
So
we don't want to hear your thoughts on traumatic childhood, Siri.
I didn't call you, lady. So anyway, yeah, they definitely had a rough go of it, but they were not in London. I think they may have come to visit at one point very briefly, but they weren't around during the time in which this show was set.
Yeah. I also have to do a little shout out to Bobby Schaefer and Caitlin Gibson because they have smaller roles in the show, but they were so effective. I thought that there's a radio interview that she does with Bobby Schaefer's character, and it made my skin crawl. It
Right.
was, I'm someone, I cannot stand watching awkward things. Like it just, I feel that secondhand embarrassment and it is so uncomfortable. And they nailed it with that. It was brutal to watch.
Right. Well, and the footage of so many of her later interviews and performances, like during Talk of the Town, she had some shows where she really did blow the roof off, and she was the
Yeah.
Judy Garland that we all expect. And there were numerous other shows where, she was not all there. And a lot of interviews, that the one that's in the show is one of many that you can just pull up on YouTube and see where she's just not really coherent and just bouncing all over the place. And so, yeah.
It's just painful. Harrison Stringer says, Siri.
Don't bring her back, Harrison.
Oh my gosh. I want to talk a little bit before I move on about Caitlin Gibson, because she plays this stage manager, right, of Talk of the Town. And there's a moment where she comes out on stage looking for Judy, and it's just painful. Someone who's supposed to be behind the scenes coming out onto the stage, and you're just like, oh my God. Oh my gosh. And she's also just real cute in her little wig and her little dress, just in that time period and everything. She was just fantastic. So I had to do a little shout out to Caitlin Gibson as well.
Yes. Both Caitlin and Bobby have been, while a small part, like crucial to the success of the show.
Yeah.
So, Bobby also is playing in the band, and Caitlin also served as our fight choreographer. So, while they may not be on stage, they have contributed to every step of the show behind the scenes. So,
see, and that's what I'm talking about. What I was talking about at the beginning with ALT's volunteers is like, these people have day jobs, like just doing regular things. And then they're playing in a band and they're performing on stage and they're teaching fight choreography. And that's one of the things that I just love about community theater is, like, again, these secret identities. It's just so cool. Like all these different talents that all these people have. And it's one of the things that I think makes community theater so extra special, is that no one's doing this for the money. They're just loving it and wanting to, wanting to be a part of something bigger than themselves and contribute to the community in a creative way. And I just think it's so beautiful. And I'm certainly glad we have you, Joshua, and that I have gotten to perform with you so many times.
Well, I am grateful for that as well.
Yeah.
And I love doing it.
So many special memories. Can we talk a little bit about your business?
Okay, sure.
So our friend Joshua Gibson-Roark has a business called Gibson-Roark Outdoor, correct?
Gibson-Roark Outdoors.
Outdoors. There's an S on the end. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So I call it outdoor design. Largely it's landscaping, but when people are like, oh, you're a landscaper, do you cut grass? Like things. No, I don't do any lawn maintenance, things like that. I design beds. Flower containers are my favorite. I think of it as like a living floral arrangement that you have for 5 months instead of for 2 weeks. So doing custom containers and bed designs, and then I'll take on, a dozen projects a year where we'll like totally rehab an entire yard. But most of the time it's just me. Sometimes I have a couple of part-time helpers I'll bring on. I have a few really good people that I've brought on through the busy season of spring planting, and then again in Christmas. In the winter months, we're obviously not doing anything outdoors, so I do inside Christmas decor and decorating, and then I always have odd jobs that pull in and fill me through the odd season. But yeah, I think of it as kind of like, one of a kind concierge sort of gardening and outdoor design. I do custom furniture for people, and then I have other lines that I rep. So, furniture, pillows, cushions, lighting, everything you need to have an outdoor oasis. So,
I mean, talk about a secret identity. My goodness. You're kind of a jack of all trades. And I have to tell you guys, go find him you're on Facebook too. Your company's on Facebook too, correct? Mm-hmm. And your handle is Gibson-Roark Outdoors, correct?
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Facebook, Instagram, and then I have a website as well, Gibson-Roark.outdoors.com. So
he does stunning work. So I really think you guys need to go check it out. And we were talking to Jacob Miller a little bit last week, who is also an avid gardener. And he was telling me you guys have kind of talked shop a little bit backstage.
We do. Yeah. And Jacob, has beautiful little flower garden and does little cut flower arrangements that he posts all the time. And so, we'll talk and be like, hey, have you seen this? Have you seen that? We had a text thread even with Joe a couple of weeks ago. She was like, what is this weed? You guys have to help me. And so all three of us are like texting about what weed is coming up where and what's the best way to get rid of it. It's like, this is a good
name that weed.
For sure. Good, bad, ugly. What do I do with it? So.
But y'all are a great resource for that. That's fantastic.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am so grateful that you were here chatting with me today for my very first solo Thursdays at 3. Thank you for making me feel so much more calm. It felt so much better having you here. Guys, we are so excited about all the things going on at ALT. Get your tickets for End of the Rainbow. Email Lissa if you can help with ushering and concessions, especially tonight. We really need your help tonight if you can do that. If you're a member, get your tickets for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Joe and Lissa are telling me these tickets are flying. They are flying, and it's only going to get worse from here. Worse/better. Worse for you to get tickets, better for us to sell tickets. So go ahead and get your tickets for that. Don't forget about volunteer happy hour on Monday in the Turk lobby at 5:30. Pizza, drinks, specialty cocktail. Come and join us. And work call on Saturday at 9:30. Email Lissa at amarillo-littletheater.org to RSVP so we can get you fed for lunch. And keep tuning in every week, Thursdays at 3. If I didn't just totally scare you off today, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so proud to be a part of ALT, and I'm so, so honored to just work alongside these people and to see all the amazing volunteers that are just popping in the middle of the day to come and help build sets and help with all kinds of things around here. So you guys are brilliant and wonderful. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Joshua, thank you again for being here. I love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
Okay. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.